I was elbow deep in a transmission rebuild when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I almost ignored it. Then I read the message. Your wife's car has been parked outside my husband's house for 6 hours. I think we should talk. My hands went still. Oil dripped from the wrench onto the concrete floor. Below the text was an address and a photo. My wife's silver Accord, license plate clear as day, parked in a driveway I didn't recognize. I checked the timestamp, 2:47 p.m. It was now 9:13 p.m. My wife, Lauren, had texted me at 3, saying she was working late at the hospital. Emergency surgery, don't wait up. I looked at the photo again. That wasn't the hospital. My phone buzzed again. My name is Claire. I'm sitting in my car across the street right now. If you want to know what's really going on, meet me at the Waffle House on Route 33. I'll be there in 20 minutes. Bring your wedding ring. I'll be wearing mine. We're gonna need proof we're not crazy. I stared at that message for 10 seconds, then I grabbed my keys. If you want to know what I found when I walked into that Waffle House and what we did with the evidence we collected over the next 72 hours, hit subscribe, because what started with one text message ended with 2 divorces, 3 lawyers, and a recording that made a judge actually gasp in court. My name is Nathan Cross. I'm 39 years old, and I've been an auto mechanic in Dayton, Ohio for the last 18 years. I own a small independent shop, Cross Automotive, tucked between a Dollar General and a tax preparation office on the south side of town. 2 bays, 1 lift, and a waiting room with coffee that tastes like it was brewed during the Reagan administration. I'm good at what I do. I fix what's broken, I don't overcharge, I show up on time. My hands are always stained with grease. My knuckles are scarred from years of slipped wrenches and sharp metal edges. I'm not fancy, I'm not rich, but I'm honest. And I thought my wife was too. Lauren and I met 12 years ago at a hospital fundraiser. She was a surgical nurse. I was there because my buddy dragged me along. She had this way of lighting up a room. Confident, smart, funny in a way that caught you off guard. We dated for a year, got married at a small church in Kettering, honeymooned in Gatlinburg because that's what we could afford. For a long time, it was good. She worked long shifts at Miami Valley Hospital. I worked long hours at the shop. We'd meet in the middle, late dinners, weekend mornings, the occasional movie when we were both too tired to talk. It wasn't perfect, but it was ours. Then, about 8 months ago, things started to shift. The changes were small at first. She started working later, more emergency surgeries, more mandatory training sessions. Her phone, which used to sit on the kitchen counter, started living in her purse, face down, always. She bought new clothes, not scrubs, nice clothes, dresses I'd never seen her wear to work. She started going to the gym, which was great, except she'd come home looking like she'd barely broken a sweat. And the biggest tell, she stopped asking about my day. For years, she'd come home and want to hear everything. What cars came in, what broke, what weird thing a customer said. Now she'd walk in, kiss me on the cheek like a reflex, and disappear into the bedroom with her phone. I told myself it was stress. Nursing is brutal. Hospitals are understaffed. I told myself I was being paranoid, but my gut knew better. I started paying attention. Not snooping, just noticing. The nights she said she was working late, I'd check the hospital parking lot on my way home from the shop. Her car wasn't there. The mandatory training sessions didn't line up with the hospital's public calendar. And the texts. God, the texts. She'd be sitting on the couch next to me, phone in her lap, and I'd see her smile at the screen. Not a polite smile, a real one, the kind she used to give me. "Who's that?" I'd ask. "Just a coworker," she'd say, locking the screen. Every time. I didn't push. I didn't want to be that husband. But I also couldn't shake the feeling that I was losing her to someone I'd never even met. Then came the text. It was a Tuesday. I was finishing up a brake job on a '15 Silverado when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. Your wife's car has been parked outside my husband's house for 6 hours. I think we should talk. I read it 3 times. Then I looked at the photo. Lauren's silver Accord, Ohio plates, parked in a driveway in a neighborhood I didn't recognize. The timestamp said 2:47 p.m. I checked my messages from Lauren. 3:02 p.m. Emergency surgery came in. Going to be a late night. Don't wait up. Love you. My chest went tight. I stared at the photo, then at her text. Then my phone buzzed again. My name is Claire. I'm sitting in my car across the street right now. If you want to know what's really going on, meet me at the Waffle House on Route 33. I'll be there in 20 minutes. Bring your wedding ring. I'll be wearing mine. We're going to need proof we're not crazy. I didn't think. I just moved. I wiped my hands on a rag, grabbed my jacket, and told my assistant, Marco, to lock up. You good, boss? He asked. No, I said, but I will be. The Waffle House on Route 33 is the kind of place that's always open and never busy. Fluorescent lights, sticky menus, coffee that's somehow worse than mine. I walked in at 9:34 p.m. There was one woman sitting in a corner booth, mid-30s, dark hair pulled back, wearing a wedding ring that caught the light. She looked up when I walked in. Our eyes met. She knew. I knew. We were both here for the same reason. I slid into the booth across from her. Nathan? She asked. Claire? She nodded. For a moment, neither of us said anything.
Then she slid her phone across the table. I took this at 2:47 this afternoon, she said. Your wife's car pulled into my driveway. She used a key to get in. She didn't leave until 8:52 p.m. I looked at the photo, then at the timestamp. How did you get my number? I asked. Your wife's car registration was visible through the windshield. I ran the plate, found your name, found your shop, called and said I needed a quote. Your assistant gave me your cell. Smart. Why didn't you just call the cops? I asked. Because I wanted to be sure, she said. I wanted to talk to you first, to see if you knew, to see if I was crazy. You're not crazy, I said quietly. She exhaled. Neither are you. Claire's story was almost identical to mine. Her husband, Derek, was a pharmaceutical sales rep, traveled a lot, long hours, late nights. About 6 months ago, he started acting different. New cologne, new clothes, more work trips. She'd tried to talk to him about it. He'd brushed her off. I'm just stressed, he'd say. Work is crazy right now. Then today, she'd come home early from her shift. She was a dental hygienist and saw a car she didn't recognize in her driveway. She parked down the street and waited. 6 hours later, Lauren walked out. Claire took photos, watched her drive away, then found me. I don't know how long this has been going on, Claire said, but I know it's not the first time. How do you know? She pulled out her phone again, showed me a calendar. I started tracking his work trips 3 months ago, cross-referencing them with his company's actual travel schedule. She pointed to a series of highlighted dates. These are the trips he said he was on. These are the trips his company actually sent him on. The dates didn't match. He's been lying for months, she said. I felt sick. So has Lauren. We sat there for 2 hours, comparing notes, timelines, patterns. The more we talked, the clearer it became. This wasn't a fling. This wasn't a mistake. This was a full-blown affair, planned, calculated, ongoing. What do we do? Claire asked. I thought about it. We document everything, I said. Photos, texts, timelines. We build a case. And then? Then we confront them, together. She looked at me. You sure? No, I admitted, but I'm not going to sit around and pretend this isn't happening. She nodded. Okay, let's do it. We exchanged numbers, made a plan, and for the first time since I got that text, I felt like I had some control. Over the next 3 days, Claire and I became a team. She'd text me when Derek left the house. I'd text her when Lauren said she was working late. We'd meet up, compare notes, take photos. It was like running surveillance on our own lives, and the more we uncovered, the worse it got. Thursday night, Lauren's car at Derek's house from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Friday afternoon, Derek's car at a hotel near the airport, Lauren's car in the same parking lot. Saturday morning, brunch, a cafe in Beaver Creek. They sat outside, holding hands, laughing like they didn't have a care in the world. Claire took photos from across the street. I watched through binoculars from my truck. It was surreal, watching my wife live a whole other life with someone else's husband. "How are you so calm?" Claire asked at one point. "I'm not," I said. "I'm just focused." On what? On making sure they can't lie their way out of this. By Sunday night, we had everything. Photos, videos, timestamps, a timeline that was airtight. We met at the Waffle House again, spread it all out on the table. "This is enough," Claire said. "We can confront them now." "Not yet," I said. "Why not?" "Because I want one more thing." "What?" "I want to hear them say it." Claire frowned. "How?" I pulled out a small voice recorder, the kind you can buy at any electronics store for $30. "I'm going to plant this in my truck. Lauren and I are supposed to go to dinner tomorrow night. I'm going to bring it up, see what she says. And if she lies, then we have it on tape." Claire thought about it, then nodded. "Okay, but I want to do the same thing with Derek." "Deal." Monday night, I picked Lauren up for dinner. She looked beautiful, hair done, makeup perfect, wearing a dress I'd never seen before. "You look nice," I said. "Thanks," she said, smiling. "I thought we could use a nice night out." We drove to a steakhouse in Centerville, the kind of place we used to go for anniversaries. The voice recorder was in my jacket pocket, recording. We ordered, made small talk. She told me about her day, some story about a difficult patient. I listened, nodded, waited. Then, halfway through dinner, I said it. "I feel like we've been distant lately." She looked up. "What do you mean?" "I don't know. You've been working a lot. I've been working a lot. I feel like we barely see each other." She reached across the table, took my hand. "I know," she said. "I'm sorry. Work has been crazy, but I'm here now." "Are you?" I asked. Her smile faltered. "What's that supposed to mean?" "It means I feel like you're somewhere else, even when you're sitting right in front of me." She pulled her hand back. "Nathan, I don't know what you want me to say. I want you to tell me the truth." "About what?" "About where you've been, about who you've been with." Her face went pale. "I don't know what you're talking about." "Don't you?" She stood up. "I'm not doing this. I'm not going to sit here and be accused of what?" I interrupted. "I didn't accuse you of anything. I just asked you to tell me the truth." She grabbed her purse. "Take me home. Lauren, now."
I paid the bill. We drove home in silence. The recorder captured everything. That night, I listened to the recording 3 times. Her denial, her deflection, her anger, it was all there. I sent it to Claire. She called me 10 minutes later. "I did the same thing with Derek," she said. "He lied too." "What now?" "Now we confront them, together, tomorrow night." "Where?" "My house," she said. "I'll text Derek and tell him to come home early. You bring Lauren." And then we lay it all out, every photo, every lie, every piece of evidence. "And if they deny it?" "They can't," Claire said. "We have too much." I took a deep breath. "Okay, tomorrow night." Tuesday evening, I told Lauren we were going to dinner at a friend's house. "Whose house?" she asked. "You'll see," I said. She didn't push it. We drove to Claire's house, a modest 2-story in Kettering. When we pulled up, Derek's car was already in the driveway. Lauren's face went white. "Nathan, what is this?" "This," I said, "is the truth." I got out,
She followed, hesitant. Claire opened the door before we could knock. "Come in," she said. We walked into the living room. Derek was sitting on the couch. He looked confused. Then he saw Lauren. His face went from confused to horrified in about 2 seconds. "What the hell is going on?" he said. Claire closed the door behind us. "Sit down," she said, "both of you." Lauren and Derek sat on the couch, as far apart as 2 people could sit. Claire and I stood across from them. "We know," I said simply. Derek's jaw tightened. "Know what?" Claire pulled out her phone, started swiping through photos. "Your car at our house 6 different times in the last 2 weeks." She turned the phone toward them. "Lauren's car in the same driveway for hours." Swipe. "The 2 of you at a hotel near the airport." Swipe. "Brunch in Beaver Creek holding hands." She set the phone down. "We know everything." Lauren's hands were shaking. "Nathan, I can explain." "Don't," I said. "Don't insult me by trying to explain this away." Derek stood up. "This is insane. You've been spying on us?" "We've been documenting the truth. There's a difference." "This is a violation of privacy." "You violated our marriages. Don't talk to me about violations." Lauren started crying. "Nathan, please, it's not what you think." "Then what is it?" I asked, because from where I'm standing, it looks like you've been sleeping with her husband for months. She didn't answer. Derek tried a different approach. "Look, things got complicated, but it doesn't have to end like this. We can work through this." "Work through this?" Claire's voice was ice. "You've been lying to me for 6 months. You've been using our home, our bed, to sleep with his wife." Derek's face flushed. "Claire!" She pulled out a folder, thick, organized. "I've already talked to a lawyer. So has Nathan." She dropped the folder on the coffee table. "These are divorce papers. We're both filing tomorrow."
The room went silent. Lauren looked at me, tears streaming down her face. "Nathan, please, don't do this. We can fix this." "Fix what?" I asked. "The lying? The cheating? The 6 months you spent building a life with someone else while I was at home thinking we were fine?" "I made a mistake." "A mistake is forgetting to pick up milk," I said. "This was a choice, over and over again." Derek stood up. "I'm not signing anything." "You don't have to," Claire said. "Ohio is a no-fault state. I can file with or without your cooperation." "And I have evidence of adultery," I added, "which means Lauren doesn't get to walk away with half of everything and play the victim." Lauren's face crumpled. "You're really doing this." "You already did it," I said. "I'm just making it official." We left them there, sitting on the couch, stunned. Claire and I walked out together. In the driveway, she turned to me. "You okay?" "No," I said, "but I will be." She nodded. "Me too." We stood there for a moment, 2 strangers who'd become allies in the worst way possible. "Thank you," I said, "for reaching out, for not letting me stay in the dark." "Thank you for believing me," she said, "for not thinking I was crazy." We shook hands. Then we got in our separate cars and drove home to empty houses. The divorce process was brutal. Lauren tried to fight it at first, hired a lawyer, claimed I was overreacting. But when my lawyer presented the evidence, photos, texts, the voice recording, her lawyer advised her to settle. She got her car, her personal belongings, her retirement account. I got the house, the shop, my dignity. The whole thing took 4 months. Claire's divorce was similar. Derek tried to claim she was unstable, that she'd fabricated evidence. But the timestamps didn't lie. The photos didn't lie. He settled too. 6 months after that first text, I was sitting in my shop finishing up a tune-up on a Honda Accord. Ironic. My phone buzzed. It was Claire. "Coffee?" I smiled. "Sure. Waffle House?" "God, no. Somewhere with actual coffee." We met at a local cafe, sat outside.
Talked about everything except our exes. She'd started dating again. Nothing serious. Just testing the waters. I wasn't ready. You will be, she said, eventually. Maybe. She smiled. You're a good guy, Nathan. You deserve someone who sees that. So do you. We finished our coffee, hugged goodbye, and as I drove back to the shop, I realized something. I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't bitter. I was just free.
A year later, I got a text from an unknown number. My stomach dropped. PTSD from the last time. But this one was different. Hi, Nathan. My name is Rachel. Your shop was recommended to me by a friend. I have a '98 Camry that's making a weird noise. Any chance you could take a look? I smiled. Sure, bring it by tomorrow morning. She did. Rachel was a teacher, 36, divorced. Kind eyes. We talked while I looked at her car. Turned out the weird noise was just a loose belt. Easy fix, I said. Give me 20 minutes. Thank you, she said. I was worried it was something expensive. Nope, just needs a little attention. She smiled. Don't we all? I fixed the belt, charged her $40. As she was leaving, she turned back. Do you ever do house calls? I raised an eyebrow. For cars? For dinner, she said. I make a mean lasagna, and I promise no weird noises. I laughed. I'd like that. She handed me her number, and for the first time in a long time, I felt hopeful. If you've ever gotten a message that changed your life, comment, I believe you. If you've ever had to choose between staying blind or facing the truth, this one's for you. Hit subscribe for more stories about the courage it takes to walk away from what's broken and build something new. Because sometimes the worst text you ever get is also the best thing that ever happened to you. It just takes time to see it.